All right, for the crab season, the crab just opened November 4th. So for recreational, it opened, but for the boats that go out and get them, they're set back to December 1st. Um, so if you can get out there and get some Dungeness crab, because of that, they're set back. There should be a lot more crab pushing in to the shores and stuff. So you're gonna have a much better chance. And I'll show you guys, all you could use is, you can't use traps or anything like that. It's just the nets and snares. So what I like to do is I got a couple snares, and I love snare fishing for crab. It's super fun, and I'll show you guys here exactly what I use and how I do it. All right, so how these traps work here is these snares got to be fully open, all of them open like this. See, that's an opened one, and then it looks like that right there once it's closed. Okay, so you want to make sure before you cast it out, have your bait inside of here, and make sure all your snares are fully opened like this here. And then what the crab do is they go over this and they try and feed, and then they get caught in here. And so the thing is, you really got to watch your pull. Once they get caught in this snare here, you got to yank it. So when it yanks it, it pulls it tight. It snares them like that. And then you got to keep reeling it in real fast so the snare doesn't open up and they escape. So you got to keep it tight like that, so it keeps them on that snare, and so you can get them in. The thing is, these ones on these snares here, they kind of close up on their own a little bit. So what you want to do is when you're buying a snare, is you want to look for, these bigger wires. This big blue one is much better. The bait's a little smaller, but that's okay, because you're really checking this thing all the time. You're getting action almost right when you throw it in, so you want to keep an eye on it. And then all these snares right here, these ones are really good because they stay open. They stay open a lot more better, and they snare better too. So once you get them, they really tighten down on the crab. And so that's what you want to look for. You can see the size difference here with the line. That blue one's much thicker, and they just snares a lot better. All right, so there's also two different kind of weights options you have for these two traps. This one just goes directly on it. You probably want to put it on the bottom, so it sits like, just like that. And this one actually has two ends to it. You could put your weight on it, or it has this little swivel right here, so you put it on the back of it. And I feel like that works a lot better. You tie your line right here, and then your weight would go right here on the back of it, on that snap swivel there. And it seems to, when it's like that, you could see the bites a lot better on the crab when they're feeding. And then it gives you more of an indication there on your line there when they're eating it and stuff. It's kind of shaking, and it's your tip's kind of going down, and it gives you a little better indication than just this one sitting there. You really have to watch your pole big time for any kind of movement for crab feeding on top of this thing. But like I said, this one, your line's kind of pulling up like this, and they kind of get on it, and it shakes your line and moves your tip, so you can see them much better. So I would definitely recommend one more like this, with the weight here in the back with the snap swivel there. And hopefully I'll be able to get a chance to get out to the ocean soon, and I'll show you guys how I catch them. And then always just make sure when you're going out there to have your measuring stick with you, so you could measure them real quick, and just don't keep over the limits. All right, so right here I got two traps. There's a bunch of different styles, but if you could see on this big one here, this one's got a lot more bait holder. But the thing is, when you buy these these snares here, you got to look for this line. And this line right here is actually not very good. It's really thin, and it doesn't snare them up as good.